Inside the Man Cave with Johnny Compian.
Oh, yeah. Hey, put your finger in my fun hole.
It's beautiful.
Graphic language will be used throughout this show.
Now we ready to roll.
Inside the Man Cave with Johnny Compian.
Game over, bitches.
Inside the Man Cave podcast show. Follow me on Twitter at Johnny Compian. On all social media platforms, look me up. Send me a message. Appreciate all the love I'm getting on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Comment, just send me some suggestions on what you want to talk about. And if there's anything that you want to chime in on any of the topics that I'm talking about. I appreciate all the love I'm getting. I want to start off today with some more NFL talk because NFL training camps are going on all around us. So, look for your team, follow them. Don't be like the Commanders. Don't be like that fan base. They're not even showing up to support their team. It's a shame. You see all the love the Dallas Cowboys get. So it's crazy how the popularity of these training camps gets. I mean, I remember going to a few training camps, and man, the city of Oxnard goes out and they put these flags up on the poles and, welcoming the Cowboys and Cowboy fans. It's really cool. All the support they get. It's great. But, we're getting ready to watch some preseason football in a couple of weeks once we get into August. And I don't know what you're looking forward to. My radar is always on the Dallas Cowboys because that's what everybody focuses. They want them to, they want Jerry to go away, and they think Jerry is the problem because that's why they're not producing a championship. But you know how these things happen with teams that they try to add to their roster. Things don't things happen during training camp, and what happens in training camp the first couple of weeks is really critical to what you're looking forward to in that season, because sometimes you lose key players, and I think that's what the approach is right now for the Cowboys. I think they want to stay healthy. They want to get there. They want to be there at the end to be in a Super Bowl. Jerry was very, very vocal about that the first day of training camp.
Super Bowl has been real challenging, I admit.
Yeah, it's crazy because every year we hear the same thing. I mentioned that, and it's so true. That's why I stepped away from that Cowboy organization, because it's every year you get the same thing, and it just gets old. It gets old, and you're like, I just want to watch them play football. I'm tired of hearing Jerry on the radio shows, and Jerry, if something happens, they don't go to the coach, they go to Jerry and ask Jerry because they know Jerry's going to say something crazy. So that's why I like to watch that portion. So when the Cowboys are on Hard Knocks, they're, that's something to watch. That's really good TV that you get a lot from. Every time they're on there, you either find something on there that stands out, that goes viral. So that's who it is now. The Cowboys. The Cowboys will always attract that attention, and like I said, Jerry wants a Super Bowl so bad. Dak Prescott is going into the 7th year, and it's to Cowboy fans, they think Dak is their ticket to that Super Bowl. He's great. He's getting there. I just think the trend for these quarterbacks right now in the NFL is younger. Younger. I think after this season, if there's nothing there, you get nothing. You have the same result, Jerry and Stephen Jones. You have to move on. Elliott, yeah, he had over 7,000 yards, the most in the NFL last year, and okay, but what did that get you? You got 12 wins, nothing. Same result, same message from Jerry, the owner. So hopefully they can get a change. And you hear it every year, Cowboy fans. Believe me, I've been around it. I was a part of it. But I never said every year they're going to. I knew they were not. I just been a fan of that team since I was a kid. And I've been vocal about it. But I just switched up. I never thought that I would switch up and not be a Cowboy fan anymore. It happens. I'm a Raider fan now. And there's a lot of good teams. The Rams, the LA Rams look good. They're in training camp. They look like they're ready to make another run at it. They got a good squad. So that's who you have to be better than, Jerry. Focus on the Rams. You want to be better than them. Play like them. Do what they do. I think Tom Brady, he looked great out there in the field. I saw him yesterday when he came out. He came out and he threw the ball and was out there doing stuff with his teammates, and it's great to see. He's in his 40s, and it's good to see. Me as an older guy, I'm like, hell yeah. Because we do talk about quarterbacks getting old in the NFL at, 36 is old, 28, 26. That number just keeps moving around a lot. But you look at Tom Brady, and he's proven. So nobody touches that when it comes to that kind of talk. But still, you have Aaron Rodgers out there. He threw the ball around, ran around a little bit. It's Aaron Rodgers. I'm so excited for the NFL season. I can't wait just to watch a game. Hall of Fame game, whatever it is, I want to watch it. Speaking of, I want to get into Mötley Crüe and the stadium tour. There's been a lot of talk about Mötley Crüe since this thing started. This stadium tour started. Mötley Crüe seems to have been in the spotlight, and it's pretty crazy. What the first thing it was Vince going into this, it was Vince, he's not fit for it. He's not ready. He still can't sing. Yeah, he dropped a couple of LBs, but he's like, he still can't do it. Then it was Tommy with his broken ribs and all that fiasco. That went away. Tommy's playing, full shows now, but the other day there was something that was trending on Mötley, and I'm like, now what? Now what happened with these guys? What are they doing? Who dropped the ball? What happened? Well, it comes out that Tommy Lee got snagged because they're playing along with a backtrack, a click track. And I'm cool with it. Dude, you know what? More power to you. If you need it to keep on time, that's cool. And to keep that, you know, you're on a time limit when you're up there because you got other bands and you got, you know, curfew. I get it. You can't just sit around and not do anything. That thing's got to keep moving. The clock moves, you move. But there was, you know how people nowadays, everything, you know, it has your phone. Your phone is your best friend because you're at a show and you got that thing, you're pointing it up and you're like, hey, I need to get this. I need to get this on video. Hey, let me hold on. Yeah, okay. That's what it's all about. So the fans, you know, when I was my early times in you know going to concerts experience was the lighters. People would get there and they turn the lights out and everybody have their lighters on. They would be filled up. It was so cool. Instead of the phones, have the lights on. No, these lighters like lit up the place. Like when there was cool concerts at the Hemisphere, and they would crank those lighters up. It was a cool scene. Anyway, that happened. People had their phones on, and they have something coming up. They have a song there. I think it was Looks at Kill. So somebody's videotaping, and there's already, you hear the hi-hat, tss, tss, and Tommy's not even behind the set yet. And he's running, and the guy, his drum tech's handing him the sticks, and he starts going at it. It's like, oh, okay. A lot of people don't notice that. They're like, I don't really care. I want to hear the music. But when you're seeing it and it's trending, and then towards I think it was the bridge part, and it just went like it was off. Something was off. Something was off. And it just didn't look right. Something that you're not used to seeing. Yeah, I've seen that band plenty of times. I've never seen that happen. They've always sounded good and tight. They've always been on the money. Sounded great, sounded powerful, just loud and good. I haven't been yet. I haven't had an opportunity to go to the show yet. They'll be here in a few weeks, actually. Mötley Crüe will be here in a few weeks. And I'll be there to witness it. I want to go see it. But I just wished I think about it because when this thing started, you saw they were playing all these cool stadiums, baseball stadiums. It was just a cool sight. And I'm just envious of that. They're playing at the Alamo Dome. On the final tour, which they ripped us off on, you know, they played at the Alamo Dome. So I hate that place. So we need to like cut the top off of it. Just shave it off, man. I think we'd be fine. Take that top off of there. And I think that place would work. I don't know if you agree with me. Tweet at me at Johnny Compian. I think that would make the Alamo Dome. And you can even add more seats. Leave it where it's at. Just take the top off. Put another roof on it. Make it retractable or something. If you're not going to build a new one, make it retractable. Put the money in. If you want to lure a team here, you already got the XFL. You know, do that. I guarantee you will get results. It'll be cool. Probably bring some bigger shows. If you had it open, that would be awesome. But San Antonio, they just don't get it. We don't get it here. You got, you know, Nelson Wolf and the mayor of Nuremberg. Clowns. Anyway, I bring that up because we're gonna get an opportunity to see Motley in San Antonio, and I'm not looking forward to going to the Alamo Dome. The beer's always stale. I don't like it. Stuffy in there. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So it was crazy how, I guess we have to just deal with it. Just go and leave, right? Go check it out and get the hell out of there. It's always going to be there. But I have an issue with that. With Mötley Crüe and Tommy Lee not being in sync and using that click track. And Metallica does. There's a lot of bands that do it. A lot of bands that use that click track or the backtrack, whatever they call it. There's a lot of bands that do that. I don't care. I'm there to enjoy the music and to, watch a good show, right? You pay enough. We pay enough for these tickets. Put on a good show for us. So hell yeah. Yeah, I want a good show. I don't want you to be there and act like you're playing karaoke and not even hit the notes. Dude, you're the band. Stay sharp, man. And I bring that up because you don't see that with Metallica. The Rolling Stones, they're up there in age. But you see them, they work on their craft and they're still doing it. The Stones are still doing it. They're a little slower. Mick Jagger isn't. Mick Jagger's just moving all the time. It's just like, it's incredible to watch that guy move around the stage, and it's really cool to see. It's really cool to witness. But a lot of people don't like Metallica. They sold out. You know what? But when they added Trujillo to that lineup, that band, they were right in the pocket with him. I don't know if you ever saw Some Kind of Monster when they did the auditions. That was cool to see everybody that came in to try to win that spot after Jason Newsted moved on or whatever that happened. I don't know. I don't care. That's their deal. So it's crazy how these bands, there's some bands that are really, well, the way Metallica did, it's a system and the way they do things. And if they got problems, they kind of hash them out and do the right thing for the business side and the band. I think it works. Look at the results. They sound great. They're always tight. There's I don't see any drama, maybe between Lars and James. I mean, I heard something, and it was like kind of just music to my ears, and I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. Because when you hear that, it's like, wait, what did I just hear? I heard that Trujillo and James got it kind of in a little spat a while back. I don't know if it was true or not. If they did, you couldn't even tell. You didn't even see it. They got on stage, did what they love to do, got off stage, went their separate ways, and that was that. These bands like Metallica, they have these rehearsal rooms. And they go in there, spend a lot of time in there, pre-show. They all show up. It's just like a sound check. You go the rehearsal space in a room. They get every town they go into, every city. They go in there and they have everything set up. Everybody shows up. Everything's set up for you. What songs are we playing? What are we working on? Check this out. Let's do this. And, that's the way you do it. I'm not around, so I don't know for a fact. And, but I don't know if you see the pictures and the videos on YouTube, and they look like they're having really good. At the beginning, they were kind of just trying to figure it out. They hadn't been, doing it for a while. So I just feel, you see them on social media. You see Tommy Lee, and he's out. Oh, there was a video that came out, and Tommy was practicing in his dressing room, and he's just, with his drumsticks hitting the edge of a couch. He's there with his wife and maybe a friend, or I don't know. I mean, don't you think that they should be getting tighter, having more reps before the show? I mean, who knows? Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm not there. They don't allow anybody in those areas. And only if you're close with the band, then you'll know. I don't think they're doing it because look at the results. That is unheard of. No, that's unexcusable. And I'm surprised that Nikki hasn't come out and talked about it because it's all over the place. They don't care. I don't think he cares. Like, whatever, let's move on to the next city, act like it didn't happen. I hope that's not their attitude. But it looks like it. They're on a 2-week vacation before they resume the stadium tour. So everybody's gone their separate ways. I saw some Instagram pictures of Tommy Lee. How he's out somewhere at some beautiful beach. Hey, that's cool. But I just feel that they, if you're paying these crazy ass prices to buy your ticket, shouldn't they be tight and ready to do, what they do? They're not on drugs and partying like they used to. Right? They're not doing that anymore. So what's the excuse? Like, what is the excuse? Why did that happen the other day? I talk about the ticket prices. $5,000 for a Bruce Springsteen ticket. That's on Ticketmaster. They said, oh, well, it's a long line with this and that. It's a bunch of BS. There's no, well, it's their business and we're still buying it. So what does it matter, right, at the end of the day? People will still pay $4,000 or $5,000 to sit right in the first 3 rows to see Mötley Crüe. It doesn't matter. Drinking beer, hanging out, everything is loud, everything's cool. So it really doesn't matter. Okay, cool. I think it's a problem. Because if Metallica makes the effort and they're like, you know what, when we come out, they played Lollapalooza yesterday. And it sounded great. Consistent, loud, happy. That right there is success. They're going to keep coming after you guys. You guys are always going to be the storyline because you're Mötley Crüe. Right? I think the guitar player for Hansi Rocks went after Vince the other day, and that was it was a huge story, but that's just a different story there. It's crazy how that guitar player was coming after, Vince. Yeah, we all know what happened. They lost their drummer. Vince was drinking and driving, and he shouldn't have been. He made a huge mistake. He's talked about that countless times. The charges probably didn't fit. What do you do, 30 days and probation? And he took somebody's life? Yeah. That's not cool. I can see the frustration on, the family and friends. I see that. Razzle's life mattered. Vince should have paid more. But who knows what happened? It's not for me to rehash. I just think it's crazy how this band always seems to be, just when you're part of that circle, it just seems to follow you. I don't think they care. They love what they're doing. I don't think they're in 100% yet because they wouldn't allow this. It's inexcusable. So hopefully they can get it together. By the time they get to San Antonio, they get good rest, and then they can come in and play the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio. It'll be interesting to see how they do that night. But there's huge news. A Chinese rocket is on the loose, and it's getting ready to do re-entry. And I had live coverage since we started this podcast. And you can see the countdown. 13 hours, 11 minutes, and 38 seconds. So it's going to land somewhere. So I've seen a lot of different postings about this. You saw it in the national news. It's a huge topic. Where is it going to hit? Is it going to land is it going to land in the water, in the ocean somewhere? Is it going to hit a residential area? Or I don't know that much about it. I'm just leaving the feed up here so you guys can watch it. And you see it right now. So just keep your eye on it, and I'll keep trying to keep you guys informed on where exactly. And, I don't want to say this too loud, but I heard Texas. I don't know where in Texas, but I heard Texas. That's scary. I mean, how big is this thing? I'm sure there'll be debris coming in from everywhere. So you've seen on some shows, I've seen on a few shows where, a plane loses something, and that piece that it loses, it's going to fall somewhere. It's going to go and hit something, a house, or, it's going to land somewhere, destroy something. So can you imagine? Can you imagine that? I don't know. It kind of makes you think like, wow, it would be crazy if I'm sitting here doing this podcast and then I hear a huge explosion and, it falls out in the field over here somewhere. Wouldn't that be crazy? That's what they're talking about. It's scary. I wish it would just land in the water somewhere and we could just move forward. But, right now it's over water. So, but we still got 13 hours to go, man. Anything can happen. It could hit something. It'll go the other way. It's like a ping pong. And the other huge story that's going on nationwide is this lottery that's going on, $1 billion up for grabs. It just reminded me right now when I'm sitting here doing this podcast that I have a few tickets. I could be a billionaire and don't even know it. Wouldn't that be great? Hey, this is the last footage this guy had before he disappeared. Because I've said that before. If I hit the lotto, if one of these big lottos where you're just like get 600 million cashed out, I would get my ticket, and I'm probably jinx. I'm probably not a billionaire right now or millionaire. It's crazy because when these things happen, it's always an older lady somewhere in some city, and she wins the whole thing. And she's like 90, and she's been playing these numbers forever, and finally, boom, they hit. I hope that when I look at my numbers, that at least I get a couple so I can get something, but I'd like to hit all of them. Right? I like to hit that. I mean, it's, if not, then there's going to be more money in the pot. It's going to get bigger and bigger. I think this is it. I think somebody won. I think maybe a few people hit it, and I think it's the end. They said a lot of these big stake lottos hit in, or jackpots, they hit in Los Angeles and New York. You know, in Texas, it's very rare. So we need to change that trend. You know how, you know, there's like, well, this hasn't happened in so long in this part of the world, or something happens historical. I feel that would be great in our city, in San Antonio. If somebody won this $1 billion, I mean, what would you do with it? If you were just an average person and you won this whole thing, you got a quick pick and boom, you got the whole thing. You got it all right. The ticket that you have the golden ticket. What would you do? I probably would have a heart attack. I probably would have a heart attack and fall over right there. That's a lot of money. That's life-changing, right? That's life-changing, and you wouldn't have to worry no more. Things would be good. You can get a Jerry Jones yacht and buy a place wherever you want. Not have to work anymore. Would you still work? A lot of people say that. Like, I would still work. I would still go to work on Monday. Bullshit. Dude, you're like on the first flight to wherever you want to go. First, you got to get the money from you got to get that check, and you got to stand there and hold that huge check up. Take a picture. But do you want to do that? No, you want to stay incognito because everybody's going to come out of the woodworks. Dude, Johnny won the lotto. Johnny won the lottery. Holy shit. That would be insane. That would be crazy. What would be the first thing I would buy? The first thing I would buy is I would buy me a nice condominium downtown Austin. Yeah. That's what I would do. Give me the best of the best. Yeah. And when can I move in, like tomorrow? Cool. All right, just get it furnished. I'll go buy everything. You guys just, load it up. And then what else would I buy? I would call everybody in my family and say, hey, where are you right now? You got Apple Pay? And I would send them some money. Here you go. Have dinner on me. And all my friends, so they wouldn't say, oh, he didn't share any of it. Dude, I Apple paid you some cash. I sent you some cash and, bought you dinner. Because you're never going to hear from me again. I'm going to go to Spain. I'm going to go wherever. I mean, I'll probably be in Spain a lot. Yeah. I'd call my brother up and be like, dude, are you ready? So we talked about, like, if something happened, then we'd move to Spain. Yeah, we'd leave to Spain and just be like incognito, man. Just act like, well, I probably would stand out a lot, so I couldn't be incognito. I'd get me a cool, like, I don't know, what do they call them? Villas, or I don't know, something really nice. and drink lots of wine. Because you can drink beer, right? I think I would keep drinking a lot of beer. You know what I would do? I would get me I would make sure wherever I was at, wherever I was residing, I'd have because I really like the Yard House. Yard House is my favorite. So I would have a setup. I'm like, you see this setup, this bar setup? I want this. And just tear everything out. I don't want a regular living room. I want my living room to be like that. And I want nothing but screens to go around so we can watch nothing but football. And I want to hire a staff to cook. And, I'll make my own menu up. And we just watch football, hang out. That right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I think that's what I would do. But I'm dreaming. Johnny, wake up from your fucking dream. You didn't win the fucking lotto because you just didn't. The chances were fucking insane. But you have to try, right? I saw this reporter. I was reading an article. This guy's saying, no, this is the chances. Yeah, we know, dude. Just let us dream about it, man. There's so much shit going on around us. Let us dream a little bit. At least give us that. Don't fucking doom and gloom our jackpot. Kind of ticked me off. At least till I find out somebody else has it, I'm considered the winner. That's the way you got to think. That's the way you got to think. I think if you think that way, at some point, it's going to land on your lap and you're going to win a lotto. I think that is a necessity for every American, is to have the opportunity to see how it feels and to just that rush. I'm sure it's a rush. And just looking at your bank account and going, that looks good. Like, I can buy this and it's not going to move. It's not going to just move numbers. It's going to just stay the same. Like all those zeros. Oh, man. Okay, let's do it once. Let's do it again. That, I'm sure, is an awesome feeling, which I'll never have. And I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I could dream, right? We can all dream. Let us dream. Don't be like that reporter and shut us down. Like, oh, don't waste your money. You're wasting it. Let us waste our money and dream, you jerk. I would have because everywhere I go, I love Heineken Light. I've talked about dreaming of Heineken Light being a sponsor of this podcast inside the ManCave podcast show. If Heineken Light would be a sponsor, but I'm still talking about my dream, okay? So I would have a Heineken Light beer tab in reach. Like right now, I would just have it and just pour it in my Heineken glass, nice and cold. I'd probably just sit here like all the time and just do this. You guys would get sick of me. I'm sure you guys are sick of me already, but you guys would get sicker of me because I would sit here and watch training camp coverage and, just be taking care of that bar tab, making sure it's nice and clean. And it's not like when you go to certain places, like there's places you go to and it sucks. It's embarrassing. And they're nice establishments, but they don't clean their bar hoses, and the beer just tastes nasty. I always give it back. I'm like, dude, I'm not paying $8 for this, and it tastes like shit. No, give me something else. Okay, well, that one tastes good. I don't care. I'll do it 3 or 4 times until I find it, and I'll even tell the manager, dude. I remember going to the Yard House. I love drinking Budweiser on tab. This was years ago. And I'm sitting there and I'm drinking, like, man, this thing tastes spoiled. And you're trying to pound it down, like, ooh. Like, you know what? Forget this. You know what? I don't want, give me anything else but this stuff. And I remember telling the manager, oh, we'll get it fixed. They just took it out completely. They took it out. They took out, every time I did it out 2 or 3 times, I'd go in there and I'd call them out on it. Oh, you still don't have Budweiser? Dude, I'm ready to spend money and buy lots of Budweisers. And I'm sure there's other guys or women that come in there that want a cold Budweiser, and you take it out. Like, shame on you. And then, yeah, it's like, what's up? You talk about having all these tabs and doing this, but you don't have Heineken Light, or they don't have it on, like, not even in bottle. You have non-alcoholic Heineken. Man, it just blows me away. Heineken, if you're listening to this, you're dropping the ball. You're dropping the ball. Get it together. I don't want to have to drive around the city just to find my favorite beer. Because I don't want to, I have to always end up with something that I really don't like to drink. It's frustrating. But, you know, I have plenty of different kinds of beers that I enjoy. So I'm happy. I'm happy with it, but I love having my Heineken Light. So, like I said, Heineken, I didn't win the lotto. I'm waiting for this Chinese rocket to re-enter the atmosphere. Please be a sponsor or send me lots of beer. That being said, I appreciate you guys listening and watching this podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are at 18. I need to get to 50, man. I asked for 10. You guys delivered pretty quick. So now I keep going to the well. I keep going to that well. Hey, well, if I have a few more, you know, I need 50, man. That's the goal. I need 50 subscribers. And I need more, you know, watching time. This thing is exhausting. There's so much work that goes into this. So it's crazy. You know, this is what we like to do. That's why we do it. So I appreciate all the support that I'm getting. And I'll be back with some more video and some more podcasts. I appreciate it. You guys take care.
Tweet at me at Johnny Compian on Twitter. And you can also support the podcast show on anchor.fm/Johnny5150.